This is all the camera you need, everybody. Weege Show, also with Verb, and also Tom Jornet here.
Cute cameras, guys.
Yeah, wow, this is like the Matrix right now.
Three cameras.
Is this how they do those scenes in the movies where they do like a 360 view of something? Yeah.
You're looking at me, looking at you.
This is Chase Stallo, my old buddy that used to work for us at RacerX. He hates being on camera.
Hate it.
He was the best coworker I ever had, but no one even knows who the dude is. That's probably for the best.
Which I'm fine with.
We're going to shoot our post-race show. Thank you for your service. We'll see you over there. This was the military appreciation race. Let's, we'll go to Twisted Tea in a second. See if we can find, yeah, all right, here we go. And we'll be right back. This time brought to you by DID and Honda, because I didn't even do a show yesterday. Maybe you heard about the travel problems. I didn't know if I was going to make it. No Weege show yesterday. Apologies, Honda. Apologies to you fans. We'll wrap this up in just a moment. Yeah, you are on the Weege show right now. Okay, so we shot our post-race show. That's my guy over there. No, not you, Chase.
No, don't come to me.
Okay, so long story here. Hey, Anton from Swap Moto, did you notice how many riders were tired at the end of these races today?
Yeah.
It, like legit, like this isn't just me, like you noticed this.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot of people tired today.
Yes, okay,
this was a grueling 4 weeks.
Thank you. So with that established, so we do out of a million shows I do, there's a podcast that me, Mathis, and Seth Rarick do called the Liat Re-Raceables, where we review old races and give them the podcast that they didn't get back when those races took place. And what's shocking is...
Big fan, by the way.
Oh, you listen?
Of course I do.
One of our recurring jokes is we read the old cycle news stories, and riders admit they get tired all the time. Jeff Emig posted a story this week where he caught Jeremy McGrath at Washougal here on a 125 from 12 seconds back. And McGrath just says in cycle news, I haven't been working hard enough. And then McGrath goes into the comments of this Instagram post of the old story and says, wow, I really wasn't working hard enough if I lost a 12-second lead. Then we went to this era for like 30 years where riders could never admit they get tired. It's back, baby.
Yeah.
Justin Cooper admits it. Hunter Lawrence admits it. Dudes were smoked in that final 250 moto for sure.
Hey, just have a step into reality. It's nice here. It's okay.
It's
you
okay.
Can things are off. It's okay.
The sport is hard. It's okay. And it makes it more interesting when we get almost strategy in the races, which brings me to the, do you notice that Chase Sexton, it's like literally at the 18-minute mark to the T.
It's on.
It's on. So even he, like, Chase Sexton is an animal, but even he is picking his spots. It's okay. It's a 35-minute dirt bike race. It's hard. You're allowed to either try to save energy somewhere or get tired.
Shouldn't you be excited that there is that kind of strategy? Because you talk to so many people that ride for fun.
Yes.
And they just mat it. They just hold the throttle as wide as they can. And
that's not fun or exciting.
Some people, when they do have the aha moment, they're like, oh, you can do this. It's been funny because in the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of guys that play like the iRacing sims or the F1 sim, and they're like, you know, if I rolled into the corners like the F1 car does, I would have a lot more energy. And it's like, yeah, you would. You know, it's funny to see where everybody's picking up.
Wait, the riders are saying this?
Hey boys, where are you going?
The riders are picking up on F1 driving style from a video game and then applying it to their dirt bike racing?
Yes, Marshall Welton. Tom.
He's saving energy. I get into my car too, it's cool. Okay, I just learned something there again. So anyway, I just like, look, the races were boring when RC would just have a giant lead by the second lap and be gone. Love RC, obviously, work with him, but that was not exciting.
No.
We're actually seeing like, almost like cycling where it's like, you're gonna go fast early, okay, I'll wait, I'll catch you later, you'll get tired, I'll save my energy. I think it's more compelling.
Oh, it's way more compelling.
Yeah.
And I think it's, it gives you the chance to see everybody's strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
It's not just, hey, the first 7 minutes, I'm gonna go as hard as I can and then survive.
And then we cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Deegan's done, and that's what Sexton. Who are the two best guys? Who's the best guy in each class in the last 10 minutes?
The two guys with the red plates.
That's it. It's cool.
How it usually is.
Yes, exactly. But now we're not disguising it anymore. Good stuff, Anton.
Have fun, Weege.
Thank you. Enjoy the sprint car race.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, that's what he likes. At Swap Moto Live's Michael Antonovich there. So, at the end of that second moto, I mean, dudes were smoked. You probably saw it on TV. Masterpool, who was just super beat down after 4 weekends in a row and getting run over in the first turn last week. He could barely get to the finish. Chance Hymas was literally hurt, injured. That was tough on him. Levi Kitchen was smoked. Looked like Ryder DeFrancisco was having a tough time getting it to the end. It was a little harder on the 250 guys today because they raced second moto and it was very hot today as well. Anyway, I just think it's cool to see the races playing out with strategy, and maybe there has always been a strategy to a degree, but everyone was masking it, everyone was hiding it. If you look at the lap times Hunter Lawrence, it's like the same pattern in a lot of these motos. It's literally like lap 9 where he holds the pace, and then by lap 9, that's when it drops. And then if you look at Sexton, right around that same time, maybe 2-3 laps after that, that's when he kicks it into gear. I just think the racing is more fun, and we often see close races to the end because of these different strategies within the same race. Chase Sexton's rolling, you know that. He's got the DID rims. They're a sponsor of our show on his KTM. Oh, I got a problem here. I really want to lay my tire on my beautiful Toyota Corolla rental car, but it's so dusty. Let me unlock the doors. Okay, my hand's a little less full. You're running a case up to the campgrounds. I like that. That's where e-bikes really come in handy, when you got to get a case of beverages.
Check her out.
So you got the e-bike right here. Yeah. I'm borrowing one from Yamaha, as a matter of fact. I'm going to try one over the next couple weeks, as if I have time to do that. Maybe in October, I'll finally get to ride a mountain bike again. Anyway, I've rolled the windows down on my rental car, so we're going to get the heat out because it was very hot today. I just like the fact that the riders are finally admitting that strategy and endurance is part of the game. As a television broadcaster, the amount of times that we'll try to sell the sport saying these guys are so fit, this is so grueling and it's so tiring, and then you watch the races and that doesn't appear to be part of it at all. You go way back to the earliest days of this sport on television, which is most people will tell you is the Carlsbad USGP, and they had that countdown clock. I think those were 45-minute motos, and that track looks so brutally rough. It was like rock hard concrete whoops at Carlsbad, right? And these were beastly 500 two-strokes, just the hardest to ride motocross bike that there is. And this is when men were men, right? And it was like watching that countdown clock in that race. In those days, it felt like you were watching a marathon, and it was like, ooh, we see who's leading now, but who's gonna have energy at the end? And that seemed like a compelling part of the sport, and it's been masked and not clear for so long, and now it is. And I don't think there's anything for anyone to be shy about or embarrassed about. It's just how it is, and it leads to those winners. I promise you I won't drive on actual legal US freeways with the camera here, but it leads to Deegan, who is just, as I said last week, 250 class. Every week there's a different story. Every week there's a different guy who's good, except Deegan. Deegan's just always good. It's unbelievable how good he is. And here's what I'm seeing. I think we learned last year Deegan's in shape, Deegan's tough, Deegan's got grit. We already knew that. I feel like what was missing last year and the industry to really be like, what level guy is this? Is this like super duper star guy or just like pretty good guy? I think what the industry needed to see was like, okay, he's got grit, he's got heart, he doesn't get tired, good for you, kid. But does he have like a next level riding style? Because the super duper stars, right, they do stuff that blows your mind. And I never really saw that riding wise last year, but I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it in odd places. I'll see it in practice when he puts in a burner lap, and then I'll see him do wheelies like down hills. You're seeing him jump bumps. That is not new. Jet Lawrence did it last year. He kind of took it to another level in the preciseness that he had and the going slow to set up to jump the bumps. But people have jumped braking bumps for a long time. Now I'm seeing Deegan turning it into like almost a freestyle form, where he's almost scrubbing jumping braking bumps. I'm just seeing a level of talent and specialness and bike control from Deegan, and I feel like that was the last piece, because we already saw all the other pieces. We know he's gritty, we know he's gnarly, he's not lacking in confidence, not lacking in fitness, and he finally just put it together today. He was due. As for the rest, like, dude, Levi Kitchen, perfect example. He was smoked today. He goes from 1-1 to a subpar day for sure. Tom Viel, who's had probably a bunch of races he'd like to have back, finally had a good one. Chance Hymas is hurt. What are our other guys? Yeah, I mentioned Masterpool. He was smoked, so he wasn't the same today as he was in other races. This is the story of the 250 class. Deegan's good every week, and then every week one other guy is the guy to challenge Deegan, and then the next week is a different guy, and that continues. Now we're back to Vial is the guy to challenge him. We'll see how it turns going to Unadilla. Chase Sexton's winning because he's super strong and super fit, and I had this conversation this week in our television meetings. You know, it'd be very easy to say, if Chase Sexton wins this title, oh, he's like Chad Reed, he's like Ryan Dungey. Some of the other guys go out injured, and he ends up winning the title. But what's funny is, that's what people maybe said about Dunge if Villopoto got hurt, or Reed if Stu and Carmichael weren't there at the time. But then as time went on, they just became legends. No one doesn't think Chad Reed was a bad dude, and no one doesn't think Ryan Dungey is a bad dude. I think you eventually learn to respect, here it is again, everyone's strengths and weaknesses and different ways that their race strategy plays out. And eventually respect the fact that Chad could be that consistent, and respect the fact that Dunge could be that consistent. And the durability of Chase Sexton, because my God, has he hit the ground a lot. Let's see your signs.
Hey!
That was cool. Chase Sexton hits the ground a lot. I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know. Think of how often he gets up. It's impressive. And that level of durability, even he said he was getting a little rundown after this 4-race stretch, but he seems to have the least amount of wear and tear on his body than any of these other guys at this elite level. And remember, Sexton is always a guy that could or should be winning races. So he's dealing with expectations and pressure on the mental side that only a few guys are. And most of those guys aren't here right now. So I think eventually, depending on how Sexton's career goes, maybe he just reels off 5 titles where he's just the fastest guy. But even if he wins last year's Supercross title and this year's Motocross title in the manner he's going to win them, Tomac gets hurt, Webb gets hurt, Jet gets hurt here in Motocross this year. And remember, Sexton was battling him already, just to be fair. But eventually I think you have to respect, well, it's not just luck that this dude is in it. There's something to be said about not wearing down and durability and being able to take those hits and not get hurt. In other sports, they absolutely talk about, in free agent season, when teams are making trades and getting new athletes, injury prone and durability is absolutely something that gets talked about. It's not just a game of chance. It is a little bit sometimes with injuries, but the track record of a guy like Reed or a guy like Dungey over a long enough time, you're like, no, there's something to this. And I think there might be something to the strong will survive style of Chase Sexton if he holds on to win this Pro Motocross Championship. Because bottom line is, he's just worn the rest of these dudes out, and he's bounced up well from every crash he had. Remember when his throttle stuck at Nashville? The guy's a beast. He can just take a hit. Remember a couple years ago in Seattle where he hit neutral on a tabletop and flipped over the bars? I think he didn't finish that one. That's about it. It almost takes, it's like the Undertaker in WWE terms. He will just sit up and get back into it. So credit to him. I want to thank DID. They've been doing this for 100 years, building championships. What drives you? Check out DID chains and DID Dirt Star rims. I got to get on the road and drive. And thanks to Honda, who did not back my show Friday because I didn't do one because I had travel problems. I'm gonna let this truck go and we gotta go. I'll see you at Loretta's. We'll do a couple shows from there.